She rides like an angel. She's my Model A Mabel.
As reported in my last video, a new Model A was acquired into the Model A Mabel neighborhood. A 1930 Model A Ford Coupe Deluxe. There is a lot of history behind this car, as well as stories. First, I did not find this Model A. Rather, it found me. There are many bicycle riders that go past my house. One bicycle rider was named Robert, and he had noticed the Model A's that were in my garage, as Josh and I have been busy working on our Model A Fords. His father, a tasteful car collector, had sadly passed away a year earlier. He was in the process of liquidating his father's antique car collection, which included a 1949 Cadillac, a 46 Ford, a 1972 240Z, and a 1930 Model A Ford Coupe Deluxe. His goal was to find good homes for his father's cars. Since the Model A had issues, yet had many high qualities about it, he was hoping to find a home for it with folks that appreciated these cars and who may have the knowledge base to correct the car's problems. Well, that does apply to Josh. Upon seeing the car, an agreement was made. The issues on hand I will get into in time, but first, this car was purchased by his father, Gregg, from the St. Louis Car Museum on August 29, 2011. Here are 4 photos of the car from the car's listing. This place appears to be still in existence, but I know nothing of them. Gregg had put 1935 Ford rims on the Model A. The 5 original Tacoma cream wheels came with the car as well. Out of curiosity, I measured the width of the tires and compared it with Mabel's tires. The tires on the 1935 rims are 1 inch wider than the tires on the 1930 rims. The tires on the car still have its stubble and are date-coded to 2018. Here's a photo of Otto with the Tacoma cream wheels when Otto was in Houston. Here are a couple of pictures of Gregg with Otto. Now we have a few pictures of Gregg and his wife, Sherry, enjoying Otto's presence. Here is Gregg with his son Robert. Now for the good, the bad, and the ugly. The ugly is that the engine has a stuck valve. As you can see here, Josh and I have already started to work on the problem. That will be a future episode or episodes. The stuck valve is on cylinder 2. The valves appear to be modern valves. However, I am not an expert. Thus, if anyone wishes to comment, please do. This may explain the sticking if the valve stem and the wall doesn't have much clearance. There was a lot of carbon buildup, but that will be shown in time. There were a lot of kept receipt records of work done over the years. I wish to note that there are 2 sets of dates that emerge. The first set of dates on the receipts are from 2000 to 2001 and appears to be from a previous owner named Jack. The second set of dates are from 2011 to 2020 and are receipts during the time of Gregg's ownership. Now for a bit of good. On November 10th, 2020, the radiator was flushed and cleaned. This took place in Waller, Texas. Unlike Mabel, this car has a flying quail. Another bit of good is that the interior of the gas tank was refurbished on December 10th, 2014. The interior fuel tank coating occurred along with some corrosion repair, according to the receipt. Then on June 6, 2015, Gregg had the exterior of the tank done. Here we have wind wings with mirrors. Oh boy, the paint doesn't show any signs of swirls. That makes me nervous, as I will be disappointed if I somehow mess it up. Work was done on the rear and front springs. It is not reasonable to show all of the receipts, but with this video you can see that it looks good. And the tie rods and more seem secure and tight. Another good is that Otto has a Mitchell overdrive. Okay, maybe that is really great. It was purchased on August 1st, 2001. The rumble seat upholstery took place on June 13th, 2001. That's 24 years ago. It appears to be in fine condition. The brakes on Otto are very good, much better than Mabel's. The stopping power is great. They are certainly adjusted properly. There is a receipt from March 14th, 2000 showing work on the brakes. The receipt shows what appears to be parts for $242.90. However, there is a handwritten total for $1,834.69 and a handwritten note of 4 brake shoes. This suggests perhaps this is the date when the brakes were refurbished. Interestingly, Otto has a stainless steel muffler. This occurred on June 8th of 2000. The fenders appear to be replaced. The receipt dated February 10th, 2000 shows a right and left fender. There is an inner ridge on the fenders, as the originals have. However, my expertise is not good enough to definitively say they are originals or not. They are certainly not fiberglass. The receipt does not specify any details. Now for the bad. The external door handles work fine. However, the inside handles are messed up on both sides. They don't seem to have enough pull to properly open the latch far enough, and they don't stay upright. This is something I would like to tackle once the engine is repaired. Also, the gas meter doesn't work. I looked inside and the mechanism looks new, but there is no cork on it. I haven't looked around to see if it is in there somewhere yet just floating around, or if it is actually missing. The interior looks fine, although the panels are off in the front. It has fog lights. They are beautifully wired along the frame. However, they suddenly just come to a stop, suggesting that the intention was never finished. The amp meter doesn't wiggle. It is a 20-0-20 range meter. The car starts well, even on 3 cylinders. The battery appears strong. The date code is 2022. Oh yes, this is a 6-volt system with an alternator. I have already worked on the amp meter and front panel, and that will be in a future video. I have no idea yet if the speedo works. I can say that the mileage reset does not work. Another bad thing is that the horn and lights do not work. I will remove, inspect, and clean the light switch assembly at the end of the steering column. The steering column has leaked dry, and I suspect that the switch assembly is filled with oil. I have put in some 600 weight. There is an oil gauge that was installed. The oil gauge ranges from 0 to 100 psi. This is way above the Model A's range, so nothing happens except that it does create the inability to remove the valve cover, which makes this a bit of an annoyance. Maybe an oil gauge change is in order, but that decision will come later. The windshield appears original and has the gas ration sticker on the passenger side. That's kind of cool. Or as my kids would say, cool beans. One last item. It is a good one. Somewhere along the line, the wood and chicken wire were removed and a piece of sheet metal was placed in. The roof is solid and rainproof. I have a receipt for sheet metal work, but it doesn't specify exactly what. So, how did Otto get his name? While I was inspecting the Model A at Robert's mother's home, there was another car in the garage, a 1946 Ford. Here's a picture. This car belonged to the great-grandfather of the son Robert, or the Model A owner Gregg, his grandfather. His name was Otto, and they referred to this 46 Ford as the automobile. Here is a video of Robert driving it with his son in the high school graduation car run that took place recently. Well, the name Otto then became stuck in my head, so it is after the name of Gregg's grandfather, Otto. The history here suggests this car has been well cared for over the last 25 years. It is an honor to have this Model A Otto come into my life space. I will do my best to bring this beautiful car back, to become part of its history, and to continue the legacy of its previous owners. This ends this episode. The story of Otto will continue. If you have subscribed, thank you. If you haven't, please do. And remember to hit that like button and auga your joy to the world.